Elevate TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Good morning. This is the Morning Digest Wednesday edition, and I'm your host Moses Muiruri. I want to wish you a blessed and a happy and a glorious new year 2025. This is going to be a great year. Here at Elevate, we have lined out great things just for you, and so that you can become part of this. Listen, if you have not subscribed on our socials, that's YouTube, that's Facebook, that's Instagram, and on X, please do so. This year you're going to be getting prompts right on time and be able to just know when we are online and we are live and we have something for you. And this is going to be a great year. I want you to put on your best shoes. This is going to be great. But today we have a great subject. Just to begin, this is a first Wednesday morning edition, Morning Digest edition, and this is the first one live. And so you're privileged to be online, and I'm so grateful for God for giving us a new year, and also to have you as our viewer. Remember this: we cannot be here unless you are there watching and just commenting. Remember the lines on your TV, on your socials. Those are lines for you to give us feedback, let us know what's going on, what you want to see this year, and how we can better our productions for you, and even for your consumption. But today we have an amazing topic. We are talking about winning 2025, how to be prepared, and personal and business preparedness. And we have a great coach. Listen, this is one of the guys I've seen to be very practical in his approach, practical in his teaching, and a man who is a practitioner of what he teaches. It's possible to teach from a book, but it is also possible to teach from your life. And I think this is what we have today. We have a gift of a man, and we are so blessed to have Coach Sabwa in the house. And this man, let me tell you, he has been here right from the inception of Elevate. But before you see him, I want you to go online, pick the link. It's already out on YouTube and on Facebook. Pick it up and share it on your timeline, share it on your groups, share it everywhere. Yes, I've shared it. Share it in different groups. Ensure that you have enough what you call you get all the people you can, so that we can be able to work together on this and be a blessing to everyone that is watching. I've sent mine, so please do so to yours. Set it on your put it on your timelines, let everybody see it, and you will be blessed. So Coach, Karibu 2025.
Thank you very much.
Please look at the camera and invite the people.
Thank you very much for the invite. It's a blessing to be here at the beginning of the year. And regardless of how you crossed over, it is a great year. And it's a great time to be here, a great time to start together, just to believe and see how practically you can be able to have a good year. As the old people who used to say, you can tell a good day in the morning. So we can tell a good year in the morning. Even now. It's just been 1 week out of 52 that have passed already. But already I can tell it's going to be a good year.
They said once you're on this side, it's a good side.
Yes, it's a good side.
Yes. Karibu, we are talking about winning 2020. How has been your crossover?
My crossing over was simple. I chose to make it simple because I realized that quite often we put too much emphasis on the 31st and forget that 31st and 1st is just like any other day.
Yeah.
Then we forget that 1st will come, 2nd will come, 3rd, and now we are on 8th. And you're wondering what has happened. 8 days have passed, but what have you done?
Amazing.
So I chose to make it simple, spend time with family, and now been planning my year and going through it.
Coach, there's a saying, you can have a new year, but you can also have another year.
Yes.
So this is 2025. Which will it be?
Another year.
And you have to give us a difference.
Yeah.
So winning 2025 for you, and looking at the way things are going, and the expectations. Everybody has high expectations and all that. Describe what it would take for me to win 2025. I'm just being a bit naughty, but I think 2025, practical ways. And when I talk about winning, is that I'm able to look back at 2026 and say 2025, I was able to achieve 1, 2, 3 things. This is what happened. This is what I was not able. Yeah.
So one of the things that I have learned is, first of all, the greatest decision I made in my life was receiving Christ. Second greatest decision I made in my life is getting married to my sweetheart. She helps. Those two people, Christ and my sweetheart, help me balance somewhere. And one of the things that I realize is that when you read the Bible, literally, okay, let me not say literally because there could be some things I've not figured out. When you read the Bible, every great miracle, every great time that God speaks of is in the midst of a dark era.
Wow.
So the challenge we have is that you can either look at the dark era and try and figure out how to survive in the dark season, or you can look at it in form of an opportunity and see how you can thrive in it. Like the way the Bible talks of us being, you can't put on a light, then hide it in a bushel. You're a light on the hill. What does that mean? It implies there's darkness.
Yeah.
It implies there's darkness. So I was remembering a story that I read of the World War. World War, I believe it was World War II, is where aeroplanes started being used in the war. And what would happen is most of them would come bombing at night. So what would be sounded was an alarm, and the first thing you had to do, even before you go hide, is switch off all lights. Because it is said that in the air, you can see a matchstick 3 kilometers away.
Wow.
A matchstick 3 kilometers away. Which for me tells me that as much as there's a lot that has been said and continue to be said about how the situation is, how dark Kenya or the nations are, all you need is a matchstick and an opportunity will come to you 3 kilometers away.
Amazing.
And the challenge we have is that we are so focused on not being the light that darkness just flourishes. Yet, even right now, if you ask many people, what scripture are you praying for, what are you hoping for, Jeremiah 29:11, or right now, my friend likes to call January the sacred month of prayer and fasting for Christians. We all talk of 21 days based on Daniel. What happened in those times? Daniel was a slave.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, if you read that chapter, he was telling them, you guys are in slavery, stay there. Because I have a plan.
God has a plan for you.
When in the darkness,
in the darkness,
everything wilderness is a problem, but there's a light. And I realized Daniel, as for example, because 21 days, Daniel is a great example of how you can flourish. Daniel flourished in 3 kings. How you can flourish.
3 administrations.
3 administrations. How you can flourish and still be relevant.
Wow.
Yet, I know most of, I'm also a coach. I help people build their momentum as they go through life. But most of the time you do goal setting, you do vision building and so on, sour. But what's your momentum going into this?
Wow.
So your question, my answer would be, the Bible has an answer for everything. So there is an answer. But the first thing that I would like us to all have in mind is the truth that light must come out
Amen.
and be seen 3 kilometers away.
All right. I think matters well said. And you know, it gives it's a very sobering outlook to understand that darkness will always be there. Why? I think when you look at the scripture, when Jesus says you are the light, he's simply saying actually you are in darkness.
Yes.
And you are that light everybody's looking for. So please, you are the light.
Don't hide it.
Yes, he is the light, but you are also the light, isn't it? Talk about 2025. And I want you to look at it like a new book, and you need to write, and you have a new pen. Okay, let me ask this one. Maybe this is not what you expected. As a coach, and people have come to you say, "This year, what do you say?" You know, it's like a pastor. People come and say, "Pastor, what is God saying about me?"
Yes, what is God?
So what are you? What are you as a coach?
So let me see if I can answer it from. You set me up with the introduction that I teach what I do. So let me say what I am doing. I'm not saying this is the marking scheme for the year, but if it helps you,
Comes out.
What I have created for myself this year, looking back, even the stories I've been reading, one of the things, just as a side note, that I coach business people in entrepreneurship, and I tell them, if you're an entrepreneur and you're a believer, if you do not read the Bible at least once, cover to cover, in a year, then don't call yourself a believer in business. Don't even call yourself a believer, because what's your reference? So read the Bible cover to cover. Know what it says. So when I read the Bible over and over, there are certain principles I have learned for preparing into the year. And I will use the acronym PREPARE, P-R-E-P-A-R-E.
Yeah.
So the first P is one I cannot put it as the last being on Elevate TV. The first thing is prayer. You know, and the way I look at prayer is not only, you know, like right now there's a lot being said, pray for the country, pray for yourself, pray for your family. Right now you're fasting and praying for something. My encouragement is live a life of prayer. You know, there's a difference of I am praying for the nation, I'm praying for my family, I'm praying for my business, I'm praying for myself. And there's the lifestyle of Daniel where they could not find any problem except he prays 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Where is your 3 times a day? Where is your time that the Bible talks of in Jude, building yourself up in your faith, praying in the Holy Spirit? Where is that in your calendar? If you don't have that, set it up. That every day, every week, every month, or like I have a calendar that I call it preloaded. Before the year starts, I've already set out my whole year, how it's going to look. And there are portions of days that are just set out for prayer. Why? A lifestyle of praying. You're not, when someone asks, okay, Albert, pray for me in this area, it's not interrupting my norm. It's one of the things that I'll add on. So I'm not looking for a kesha here. The kesha here is an additional, it's like a vitamin to the food I'm eating every day.
Wow.
That's P. Then we have R, which is reading. The worst statistic you could ever read, and the story people say, if you want to hide something good from an African,
Put it in a book.
put it in a book. Again, we have so many people in classes, school, and so on, which is good. I like to say, find 2 or 3 books that speak to you. Read them over and over. I have a particular book, can think of 2 now, that I'm going to make sure I read at least once every month.
Wow.
Why? Because this person is speaking to my present situation and where I want to go. I want to learn that and make it part of my life.
Wow.
So don't just read. Usikue tu mtu that all you read is a newspaper and the magazines and the posts that are online.
Posts that are online. Yeah.
No. Yeah. Read something that you read consistently. Why? Yes. Because that's what sharpens you. Things you didn't know. So you're praying, you're reading. Then the third is E. Eat.
Wow.
What do you eat?
You know, we never used to think about eating until the other day.
After a while, you start thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I have a friend who, even on Sunday, we were having a conversation. He was saying one of his hardest things when it comes to fasting is eating. And for him, the problem is not because he likes food, and I know he likes food. From where we come from, food is a love language.
It's a hobby.
Yes. we don't get satisfied, we get tired of eating. But his challenge is that he's a sports person, he's an athlete. So he needs the food as fuel for what he does.
Yes.
So if he doesn't eat breakfast, he was even saying, if he doesn't eat breakfast by lunchtime, he's cranky. And his body is just, I need the energy.
I can imagine.
But for us, so for him, there are some things he just chooses not to eat because he's in the gym.
Yes.
For us, we choose not to eat because it's not in the supermarket. It's about time you started choosing, like Daniel, we will not eat meat, we'll eat this and this and this because of this.
Yeah.
That 3/4 of, actually I would say 100% of our lives is built around our eating. You know, you wake up because you're going to eat breakfast at this time. Then you do work because you're going to eat lunch at this time. Then you'll do everything and have your meetings because you have dinner at this time. If my life is built around my eating, shouldn't I make sure I eat right?
Yes.
This year, if you're not eating right, then 5 years from now, you'll be looking back and asking, what was I eating? So you're praying, you're reading, now you're eating, and then the best part is people.
People. That's the next bit, yeah.
Is people. Who will you not hang around with this year?
You apply Psalm 1:1.
Who will you not hang around with this year? Every beginning of the year, I try as much as possible to look at my contact list and I start sifting. I look at my calendar, who did I meet? Do I want to meet them again this year? Is it worth the investment? Because there are those who walk away and there are those who stay. And there are those who you can build with and there are those who, regardless of what you do, you'll still fail. So you could be praying, you could be reading, you could be eating right, then you hang out with the wrong person. I want to hang out this year with with people, not someone, with people who will continually challenge me to put my light out there. Put your light out there. Put your light out there. Put your light out there. Because it's only by my light being out there that I see the opportunities and that I make an impact for Christ. If my light is not out there, then I don't want to be out there. And my personality is one of, I can operate in the background and do nothing. But people are around me who even request that. Recently I went for a meeting and it happened twice. I went for the meeting and someone in the meeting was coordinating and just decided, Albert, you're the one who is sharing today. I'm wondering, I've just showed up. Then I escaped that one. I went and sat behind and the person managed everything. The next time we went for the same meeting, someone else, not this same person, someone else now is encouraging the family and says, by the Albert, so you can share something. So it doesn't take a lot of discernment to realize people are asking for something.
Yes.
Can I deliver? And then people are asking for something, you must deliver.
You must deliver.
So those are the four. Then there is A-R-E.
Yeah.
The A is arm.
Arm
Arm yourself.
yourself.
Because whether you like it or not, you're going to need to be resilient. Already you know it's dark. So you need to be
In fact,
resilient.
I was to ask you about building resilience.
Yes. You see, if you're praying, you're eating right, you're reading the right things, you're with the right people, your resilience begins to build because you're now separating yourself. But you have to have that mindset that I'll not always be in the defensive. It doesn't take long for you and I as leaders within the organizations and just within believers to realize we are on the defensive 90% of the time.
90%, yes, it's true.
90% of the time. So you're waiting to be told, start praying. You're waiting to be told, start reading the word. You're waiting to be told, yet you are the light. Light in a dark scenario is offensive. So ask yourself, what do I need to know better? What do I need to learn better?
Yeah.
Who do I need to hang out with? Because anything you do, it's like you go into it knowing there's going to be a fight. But like David, God, we are going to go, how do we do it? And then you do it. So let me go through the last two quickly.
Yeah.
Second R is rest.
You need to rest.
Yes, you need to rest. You need to schedule rest in your plan, in your calendar for 2025.
You know, they tell us that is the biggest and the hardest thing for many African men.
Yeah. Very hard. One of my coaches asked me, when he looks at my calendar, can he find where I rest? Is it in my calendar where I rest? Just the same way, is it in my calendar how I make money? Is it somewhere I rest? Yes. I recharge by mainly going out so I want to schedule times I'll walk in Karura Forest or the neighborhood. Times I just take a drive into nature, go drive Moa Hills, Kajiado, just rest. The world won't stop if you stop.
You're right.
In fact, when you stop and fall out, the world will continue as if you never existed.
Yeah, they'll move on like you never existed a day.
Then the last one is earn. This is a year you must earn.
Earn money.
Earn money.
Earn money.
You must earn.
I tell you.
Because if there's something that over and over the Bible shows, is that God tells the people of Israel, don't go back to Egypt. Usirudi Misri. And one of the greatest things that you also read is the times they went back to Egypt was famine. They are looking for food. So this food thing is going to come.
So don't go back to Egypt.
Don't expect that, there's another person who likes to say, I like to listen to people who teach what I like. So there's someone who was saying that the Bible talks of how God cares for the sparrows and so on and so on. But it never says that God opens the mouth of the sparrow and drops no. He feeds the sparrow, but the sparrow still goes out to find.
Amazing. It's like you have covered everything in one word. Prepare. I tell you. I know we have a break coming, and I want you to just put your words into, especially the matter of adopting to changes. Because, we live in a world where there are changes. The fact that you crossed over the year, changes are here.
Yes.
It's basically, in fact, you just crossed over to another level of change.
Yes.
So just speaking to it before we go for a break.
See, change requires you to, first of all, you need to believe change happens. And that's how life is. And one of the things I challenge myself where change is concerned is, am I looking forward to change? Because if you're looking forward to, for example, if you wanted to travel to my shags, you have to prepare for 6-7 hours of driving.
Wow.
That's literally change in how you visualize things. But if you're prepared, you will have less thought of how bad or how good it is. Our challenge is that we don't see change as part of life. One of the things I changed even in my own life last year is rather than have things that I'm aiming to do throughout the year, like I say, this year I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. I broke them down into 4.
Wow. Big 4.
Yes.
Even
So
the
4,
big 4.
in terms of 4 seasons in the year. So every 3 months I'm aiming for something.
Wow.
Why? Because in equator areas, we don't see the 4 seasons. But the rest of the world sees the 4 seasons. So the 4 seasons means every season, what you see in winter is not what you see in summer, is not what you see in autumn, is not what you see in. You understand?
Yes.
But all the 4 come together to make a beautiful year. So that's why change now, if you build your change where you change 4 times this year, by December, you'll be a beautiful result.
Hold that. You're going to come back to that one. 4 changes. Well, Coach Sabwa is in the house. He's not the kind of coach you listen to quickly. You need to take notes. He's a very critical thinker. So let's go for a break. And as we do that, please send the link to many people as you can. Let them know. Everybody's looking for a way to begin the year. Please become part of the bridge that they need to see the light. See you after the break.
Every man of God must remain focused in the ministry.
A pastor needs prayer, care, love, and encouragement.
You have to have a mentor, someone you can be able to obey, to love, to submit to.
What these pastors and leaders should do to create the right culture.
The most powerful thing a pastor can do to his people is teach them. Being accountable to an authority is not weakness, it's strength.
On Encourage a Pastor, we share real and authentic conversations that intend to give solutions to a pastor.
If there's a minister out there are character issues, don't push. Don't keep on ministering. You won't be fruitful.
In the body of Christ, certain wives have given up because probably they feel they haven't gotten the right leadership from their own husbands.
We need to learn to know our husbands after the Spirit.
I'm telling you, don't quit.
Catch Encourage a Pastor every Saturday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Welcome back. After the break, I hope you've sent this link to everybody out there and let them know that we are on set and we are on TV, we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube and all those socials. So please, if you have to ask anything, Coach Sabwa is in the house. Please, let's talk, let's converse together, and let's build a conversation around this matter. I like the way Coach has put it, prepare. One word with enough, a loaded one word. And we were talking about adapting to change. You were mentioning 4 changes. I think that was interesting.
Yes, that I learned that last year as I was rebuilding. Last year, I mentioned at some point that one of the things I'm doing is I'm rebuilding my brand.
Okay.
One of the hardest things that I've done in my life is rebuilding my brand. Because literally it shook a lot of my internal being and my business, everything about me changed. And one of the things that I learned in that period of time is that I would do, at that point I would call them quarterly quests, sprints for 90 days, which is 3 months. And each of those 3 months, there were certain things I would try and put in place and test, put in place and test, put in place and test. Then after that, I find this didn't work, this worked, this didn't work. Then I go into the next 30 days, 90 days with a new perspective and keep going that way. And I realized at the end of the year, I had achieved much more than I had initially thought I would.
Wow.
Despite the fact that there was a significant dip in much what I was thinking. But what it helped is when I went through a dip, it's like the 90 days ends and you realize this is the reason I was in that dip.
Wow.
So now I have the opportunity to recalibrate and now change that thing that was a dip and now do something else. Then that thing doesn't work. Then you calibrate.
So when it doesn't work, you don't give up.
No.
You calibrate.
No. You become like Joshua. You go back and say, Lord, air is small. Why have we lost? Why have we lost? And it tells you, my friend, the problem is you. Change here, change here. The problem is how you spoke. Change here, change here. And the thing about change is, remember I said prepare. There is prayer, there is reading, there is eating, there is people, there is arming yourself, there is resting, there is earning. What you have to do when you're changing is that you have to critically choose at least 3 of those that you will do consistently and change consistently. So for example, in my case last year, and possibly most of this year, as I said already, people, right now I know there are those who will tell me, please make sure don't remove me from the list. Because there are some people who
Please don't remove
No, I'm already here. Already here. There's the friend of mine who was telling you, who we were talking about fasting. You talk a lot with him and you're saying, one of the things he has realized after getting to 4th floor 40 is that at some point you begin to talk like older people where it doesn't matter. If you don't like me, ni sawa. It is okay. I will talk with this person. I no longer have the urge to please the world.
Yes.
I have the urge to change the world, and these are the people I'm changing with.
Wow.
What would Jesus do? Jesus chose, in the midst of the 5,000 and so who came to eat, he chose to walk away with 12.
Yes.
From that mass that was there, he just chose, let's now go into the ocean, leave these people, they only want bread. You guys, let's go.
Yeah.
There's a point you will have to realize that as you change, and that's where the seasons help you to see. You begin to realize January is like the dry season. January, February, March is like the dry season for most people. I'm not sure why, but that's what people talk about. So in this season, who are the people you're going to hang around with? Who are the people you're not going to hang around with?
Amazing.
Because they will not help you grow to be ready for April, May, June. This may be the time you need to sow the most significant seeds of relationship, maybe money, time, because that's what you have.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're going to reap in April, May, June. So if you hang around people who are holding back, this is the time they're thinking, in fact, I won't go to church as usual, I'll not serve, I'll not do this, I'll not help, then I don't want to be around you, please. Tuonane, let's see each other in April. Maybe that time I'll be harvesting and I need a place to put what I'm harvesting. So you come and help me put this away.
Yeah.
Right now I need someone who is consistently challenging me that regardless of what you have, give. Give your time, give your energy, give your words, give your wisdom. That's what I have. If you have the money, give the money. That could be this season. Next season may be harvesting. I need a different group of people. Maybe these ones have learned and come across, but I need a new group of people. I possibly need a new way of earning. I possibly need a new way of praying.
Wow.
I need to be, I have one of the leaders in our church runs January as a time they read the Bible through in 30 days. I've done that once.
Wow.
And I can assure you,
It works.
it is not the time when you say, I want to get a deep word from the Lord. That's the time you realize the word is washing you. It just pours and washes you. Maybe that's now. Next season, maybe all I need is devotionals. My wife had a period of time in a season where she just could not read the Bible and pray. The things, that was a season. But all she could do is she was doing like 3 different devotionals in the U version. That was sustaining her. But you can't sustain like that for 3 years.
No.
There's a period you change. 3 months later, you realize, okay, now I'm able to read the New Testament. 3 months later. So it helps you to have a mindset of shifting. That if God says, okay, shift, you're not going to be struggling with why are you shifting. No, you're used to shifting. You're used to shifting. I have a relative who lives in Europe. And one of the things I found very interesting is that every season, it's even in Kenya would say gazetted. From this day, winter has started. And from that day, your tires need to be different. Your tires for your car.
Yes.
Whether you like it or not, don't be found on the road with the wrong tires. Even if you bought them yesterday and today is when winter starts, don't come to the road with these new tires. Go get winter tires.
Wow. Change, eh?
So when
Change
you
is
know
amazing.
in 30, 90 days, the next, if I know at the end of March, I'm going to change. I will endure whatever comes in January, February, March, and I will do the best because in March, I'm going to recalibrate.
Amazing. I think we can. You have that one. You have labored enough on that change.
Yes.
I'm looking at the matter of opportunities this year, because this is a year that has a lot of opportunity.
Yes.
Whether you see it or you don't. You know, the interesting thing about opportunity is that you may not be seeing, but others are seeing so many.
Yes.
You know, I was talking to somebody and he was telling me, I don't understand why people are saying this is a hard year. So I asked him, boss, but you see, and he put it very interestingly. Most of us are looking at the hard year from a certain perspective. But then, have you explored this other perspective?
Yes.
Have you explored this other perspective? Then you will see things differently. And you know, sometimes it is the perspective can blind you. And I want you to speak into it.
Well, when it comes to perspective
and opportunity
and opportunities, one of the lessons I coach on biblical entrepreneurship is identifying opportunities. Because if you're going to be an entrepreneur, also in life, you have to be able to identify an opportunity. And you have to be able to identify an opportunity where you're able to solve a problem. Not just an opportunity. In fact, it is said that there are many reasons why businesses fail. In the first year, 2 years, 5 years, many reasons. But out of that mass of businesses that fail, 37%, which is significant, more than a third, 37% of those businesses fail because they have an irrelevant product.
Wow.
In the market. So why are you in the market if you have something irrelevant, which means no one wants it? You're pushing it, no one wants it. Yet there is something that market is asking for, but you're not giving it. That's where you need to be able to identify what's the opportunity. What's the opportunity based on what are people asking for? Right now, for example, whether we know it, we like it or not, our children are going to school.
Yep.
Whether you like it or not. Very few parents are right now would argue with you if you say, I offer transport to Nakuru. And they tell you, I don't want, my child will walk. Which one?
You are relevant.
You understand?
Yeah.
You have a relevant product because there's already people asking for it. That's the challenge we have, is that we try and create, now we say, I am not going to offer transport to Nakuru, I'm going to offer, I'm going to sell swimming costumes. You know, I'm going to go to the stage where children are going for school and I'm going to put bouncing castles there. I don't think as a parent you want your child going to the bouncing castle and you think you're going to school. On the same stage, is it the matatu car going to Nakuru or the bouncing castle? And many of us, we see opportunities that way. You want to bring something to me that I'm not asking for.
Yeah.
And what we train in biblical entrepreneurship is that opportunity is when timing meets preparedness.
Wow.
God's timing is, God is not confused. He's always on time. If he wasn't, today we'd be in the darkness wondering when is the sun coming up. As long as the sun came up, there's opportunity. The challenge is, what are you prepared to offer? Remember what you said, prepare. What are you prepared to offer? If right now the Arosa need, like I've said, you go and you see the stage is full of children and parents who want to go to Nakuru, but you don't have a car, you don't know how to drive, you don't even know which highway to go on to Nakuru, don't go there and say, I'll offer a transport. You're not prepared.
Brutal.
You're not prepared.
You're not prepared.
Yes. But at the same time, you make wonderful mandazis. But you want to offer transport. Just make those mandazis and go stand at the same stage and see how you'll sell.
Yeah.
You are prepared, the timing is right, and the people to buy are there.
Wow. So this year is a time to find and identify opportunities.
Don't find, the opportunities are there.
They are there.
If you need to find something, confirm, not even identify, confirm what are you prepared to do. Confirm what are you trained, what are you specialized, or what are you able to deliver.
But there is that's very important, because people are looking just for anything. They are not looking at what they are trained, what they are able to deliver without a struggle. What is their key? So this year is a day. Early this year is a time to check on what you can deliver.
This is the time right now. Even as you're thinking at the beginning of the year, this is the time to go like Moses, standing in the burning bush, and God is saying, "Go deliver, go deliver." And He says, "How?" He says, "What do you have in your hand?"
Amazing.
What do you have?
I think my takeaway today is that one.
What do you have in your hand?
What do you have?
Because if you cannot do an appraisal of what you have in your hand, then you won't know what are the opportunities that are looking for, and those opportunities that are looking for what is in your hand. If this is presented is not in your hand, then there is another one coming that is in your hand.
Amazing. Wow.
Because Moses could have used the rod for very many things, but he was told, this rod, it will turn into a snake, it will do this, it will do this, it will do this.
Wow. You've just made me think of something.
I have.
Right away, yeah. Just to think about what can I deliver right now, what do I have? It's something, and just work at it. That's what I'll and make sure that I'm in the right places to give it and deliver well. I want, because of time, imagine time waits for no man.
Time is good.
Yeah, time is good. I want you to speak on a subject I really am very passionate about, leveraging on technology this year. Because you see, somebody said technology is here. Like you have said, nobody is denying children are going to school. Even if you say they are going to school to impoverish us, they are going to school. So the key thing is school. They are going to school. Hakuna mahali utapeleka. Even if you blink twice, they are on the way to school. Technology is here. If you blink, it's here. If you sleep, it's here. And the fact of the matter is this: it's not just here. The speed at which technology is enhancing, you can't ignore it.
Yes.
And I want you to just speak into it. We have a few minutes, and maybe this will be like our...
So let me wrap that together with where we started. Remember I said the war started with when there's an alarm, all lights off. Why? There's a new technology that was now being used, the aeroplane. They could see from up there. And they could see a matchstick 3 kilometers away. And then shoot from that 3 kilometers something that's coming towards you. Similar scenario as you're saying. Technology is not new. It is how we look at it that is new. And human nature, anything new is a threat.
I tell you.
Anything new is a threat. When you have a plan, like now we have talked of prepare, it's not the only one. This one I came up with. There are many others. There are many ways you can make this acronym. There are many others. There are many ways. These are many. Even there are some people say you don't do more than 3. There are many. But if you think about it, all that technology has come to do is to make things easier for you to do. For example, praying. I've said you need, for me, I'm putting a schedule, a way in which I can be like Daniel, that it says I pray 3 times a day, as an example, or it can be even once a day. Okay? For let's assume I give myself a challenge and say I'm going to pray 1 hour a day. Technology will help me to focus for 1 hour.
Amen.
I can go to YouTube today and find prayer for, there's one I saw, it is praying for 6 hours. I told you of a leader who I know who reads the Bible cover to cover in January in 30 days. That's about 14, 15 chapters a day. I can assure you, I as Albert cannot turn 14 chapters in a book a day. But I as Albert can go on YouVersion, put it on, and put my headphones and track as a person is reading. And as my pastor says, that guy in YouVersion he doesn't swallow saliva. He just keeps talking. And then I as Albert, knowing that I can listen fast. So I'm not listening at 1 speed, I'm listening to 1.2 or 1.5 speed. I am ingesting that information. For 1.5 hours I'm like this. Technology. Technology is a tool.
Yeah.
You can choose to write with a biro, you can choose to write with, you can go back to where they used to write with a feather.
Yes.
Or you can type.
Or even use a light pen.
Oh yes. Technology is not to be seen as good or bad. It is, you need to use it to meet your goal. If it's my friends, there are some who are in the States. I cannot fly there, but I can call them on Zoom. And we have a talk. I know of someone who they are friends to the point that they pray together.
Wow.
Do you know how they pray? WhatsApp.
Amazing.
WhatsApp call.
Amazing.
So they do a WhatsApp call, and they do a WhatsApp call that is running for 1 hour.
Wow.
And they are praying. What excuse do I have not to grow? What excuse do I have not to prepare? What excuse do I have this year? What will you say 3 months, 90 days from now, the next season, the next 4 times? 4 times this year. What excuse will you give that technology or things are bad? Which one will you use?
None. None of the above.
So that means if there's none that will use, you can't even go to the Bible, because when you read the Bible, you realize there was darkness and then there was light.
Our time is very fast spent. I want you to look for those few 1 second wrap-ups, the parting shot. Look at that camera. I want you to tell somebody this year, please make sure that you prepare and you finish by earning.
So this year, 2025, well, let me use 2025 because it's this year. Do not allow yourself to have the reason. I say reason, excuse are all valid because you still didn't do it. So don't have the reason or excuse of not doing well this year. You have opportunity every 90 days to start afresh. Just like winter goes into the next spring, into autumn, into summer, and whatever rotation it is, the different seasons. You have the opportunity to find the place that you're already prepared. Today, as you're sitting where you are, as you're watching, you're already prepared to do something. Do it. Because that's the opportunity that is already before you. There is someone willing to pay you for that skill that you have, and you'll be able to earn from it. Prepare is simply this. P, pray. Have a sequence of prayer. R, read. Have a sequence of books or materials that you read consistently over and over. Eat. E is eat. How you eat and exercise this year will make a difference of the energy and strength you have to go through the year. P is people. Who will you not hang out with this year? Who will you not hang out with this year? Because those you'll hang out with, who you need to hang out with, will find you. A is arm. Be ready to be resilient, because what you have is going to go, just like it's darkness when you light a match, you've caused a disruption. Rest. Find cycles of rest. After every 3 months, take 1 week, rest. 3 months, take 1 week. Or every week, you have the 7th day, rest. And finally, earn. Make sure this year, your target and your goal to earn is greatest.
Amazing. We cannot say anything more. Just prepare. See you on Wednesday, on the next Wednesday edition, but also keep it live, keep it on Elevate Television. Make sure that you are watching. Make sure that you be our guards. Whatever you want, whenever you see something we should do, please let us know. The numbers are on the screen and on our socials. Please reach out to us. We are here this year to work together and to become greater together. God bless you. See you.